Um, Robin van Persie's departure from Arsenal proved to be a huge starting point in a string of centre forward issues for that club. Arsenal really struggled to find strikers that were consistent enough to fill the void that Robin van Persie left in that position. Players like Giroud, Sanogo, Welbeck, Lord Bentner, they all proved to be just not good enough to really carry the club to any credible title challenges. And but good news for Arsenal is that's all looking up for them. Alexis Sanchez this season has been deployed by Wenger as their primary striker, and he's absolutely excelled in that role. This should come as no surprise. He's always scored goals from Arsenal, but he tended to do that on the wings as either a left winger or right winger. And if you look at the difference between him now and last season, and the total of last season through the league, he scored 16 goals, so that was 16 goals in the Premier League last season. This season, he's on track to score 37, already scoring 12. That's absolutely ridiculous, the difference between him then and the difference between him now. I could go on for ages about how much better he's gotten, but this isn't about how much better Sanchez has gotten, but how good he is now. The fairy tale is great for Arsenal. Finally found the centre forward. Maybe this might be the season they challenge for the league title. City aren't looking too good. Maybe they can challenge Chelsea for that top spot. But whilst it might all seem great, in 18 months it might not be. Because Alexis Sanchez's contract does expire in 18 months, where he essentially becomes a free agent. But the only problem for Arsenal with that is he might not re-sign with them because they don't wish to pay him what he's asking for. They could always tie him to a new contract now, but according to reports, Arsenal do not want to pay him the £250,000 per week that he wants to be paid. So, I mean, it's up to them, but I'm going to try and make the argument that Alexis Sanchez does deserve $250k per week and they should pay it. I'm going to do that by comparing him to active players right now who are being paid over $200k per week. These players that I decided on were Pogba, Rooney, Zlatan, Aguero and Hazard. The reason why I picked these players was because it's a perfect mixture of forwards, attacking midfielders and deeper line midfielders, i.e. Pogba, because Sanchez is ridiculously malleable as well. He plays anywhere from the strike position to the midfield position. He is really good. Within a single game, he will literally cover every single blade there is to cover. He's just a very flexible player. He can play various positions very well. So I thought I would be doing him a disservice if I just compared him to forwards, or if I just compared him to attacking midfielders, or if I just compared him to midfielders, because I'm not quite showgazing the breadth of his talent. The obvious comparison that you can make between Sanchez and these players is of course goals and assists. If you're to base your analysis on these two stats alone, there's no argument to be made. Sanchez has contributed 12 goals and 6 assists. No other player on this list has contributed as much goals, as much assists, or both combined. You should give him 250k. But it's not that simple, really, because it could just be a great run of form. I think if you look closely at the numbers behind Sanchez's goals and assists and just how well he's playing, you'd realize it paints a bigger picture, really, the numbers behind that. So that's what I'm going to try and do. I'm going to going to go a bit deeper in the analysis, just a little bit deeper in the analysis, just to paint the perfect picture. I'm going to start with shots. If you blindly shoot the ball, that it doesn't really mean you're going to score. And talented goal scorers tend to have foresight to assess scoring opportunities, how to create them, when to take them, so on and so forth. If you compare Sanchez and Zlatan, Sanchez has 26 shots fewer than Zlatan so far this season, and yet has scored more goals than Zlatan. When you break it down, it's obvious. If you watch game footage, it's obvious to see why Sanchez doesn't take as much shots as Zlatan. He's a lot less conservative as a centre forward. He tends to roam about as I said earlier during the video, he tends to vacate that central position a whole lot and allowing players like Mesut Ozil or Theo Walcott to fill in that position, whilst he then confuses the defense, drops in deeper, carries the ball forward, which he's very good at, wins the ball back. He is essentially a Roman play this season. He's become like this Roman playmaking centre forward. He's just shown like he is not a straight out and out striker, even though he plays the strike position exceptionally well. So it makes sense that he doesn't take as much shots. But there's something to be said for someone who's not taking that many shots and still scoring that many goals. It's what's to be said is his shot quality. Then the shots that he chooses to take must be very high in quality, because if they were not, he won't be scoring. If you compare him to another talented striker like Aguero, who's played in less games than Sanchez this season, also has more shots than Sanchez, and still Sanchez has more goals. That's also credit to his talent as a finisher and a goal scorer. He is not wasteful with the ball at his feet, and I wouldn't describe either Aguero or Zlatan as wasteful with the ball at their feet. So that says a lot for just how good he is compared to them at finishing, or at least how good he's been this season. I can only speak in the season. If you contrast the quality of shots between, say, Sanchez and Hazard, it does paint a different perspective on how efficient his goal scoring is. Eden Hazard takes 60% of his 40 shots this season. 60% of those have come from the penalty and 6-yard areas, and they've actually come at higher accuracy than Sanchez. Yes, yet it seems that Sanchez is scoring more goals as well. More credit to Sanchez for that. It just shows, once again, you might take a high percentage of your shots in a specific place, but if it's not of good quality, it's not going to go in each time. As Sanchez has proven, he spreads out where he takes his shots from. He's quite unpredictable in where he's going to score from, and he does it really well. I don't know what you can attribute the difference in his goal scoring form to this season. You could attribute it to luck, but that would be selling the man short, because he scored loads of goals for every single club that he's played for. But it's not just, in shots that Sanchez compares brightly to those other high-paid players. He's also very potent as a primary source of creativity. Of all players this season to play at least 1,000 minutes, Sanchez ranks third in chances created. Something like 2.5 chances he creates a game. This has led him to 6 assists so far in the Premier League, and compares very favourably to the likes of Pogba, Hazard and Rooney, who've all created less than 2 chances per game this season. That's an astounding return, especially for centre forward, if you consider the fact that he actually averages fewer touches and passes per game than both Pogba and Hazard. So he has the ball less than them, but creates more chances. Once again, very efficient in how he uses possession. Significantly more efficient in how he uses possession. Ridiculously more efficient, actually. It is outstanding to see these, and we're talking about world-class players here that we're comparing them to. I think when you look at these numbers, there's absolutely no doubt, there should be no doubt, that Sanchez may be the most complete centre-forward in the league right now. And to think that Arsenal have a player so rare he's not a jack of all trades, he's a jack of all trades and master of all. That is incredibly rare. And they've sought after a player like that for so long, and they finally have one, and it seems as though they're reluctant to pay him his due. I get that Arsenal don't want to spend big money on him, but within this current economic climate, especially in football, they're gonna have to. It's a principled stand, but it's a foolish one in the end. They're gonna have to pay him, and I highly encourage them to. I will be the first to say I do not know the first in-depth detail about Arsenal's wage policy, but I do know that contrary to popular belief, they are actually a high-spending team. They have the 4th highest wage bill in the Premier League at £200 million. So they spend £200 million per year on wages. That's 18 million less than Chelsea, who are in 3rd, And an increase in Alexis Sanchez's wage wouldn't actually take them above Chelsea. They would still be the fourth highest wage. They'd still have the fourth highest wage bill. So I don't really understand the difference. Some might say maybe it's because Mesut Ozil was asking for similar amounts of money, and if they paid both of them that amount of money, that's an additional 12 million to their wage bill. But as I said before, they'll still be at fourth. They're 18 million behind Chelsea. It will make no difference. They won't suddenly become the highest spenders in wages. What does set Arsenal apart though from a lot of teams is they spend smart. They spend really smart. You can't really look at many Arsenal players that they've spent huge money on or giving huge pay rises to, instead those players were busts. Maybe Theo Walker, but outside of that, you can't really go and say Arsenal have wasted money on a player. Especially when you have Manchester United, who have a player like Bastian Schweinsteiger, who can't actually make the first team squad, much more the starting 11, or be on the bench. He hasn't featured for them at all this season. And they're paying him £200,000 a week, and they're refusing to pay Alexis Sanchez that even. And the difference between Arsenal and the Manchester Uniteds and the Chelseas and the Cities is that within the last decade, Arsenal was the only team of those four to not win the Premier League title. I mean, there's absolutely nothing to suggest that Alexis Sanchez would not be the right person to invest that much money in. He's not had a bad season for them. But what they should fear is that if they fail to sign him, it may signal a lack of ambition to potential transfer targets. It is a move that will definitely enrage fans if they do not re-sign Alexis Sanchez, because it doesn't seem like he's going to back down from how much money he wants, and it doesn't seem like they're going to back down. And if this stalemate stays, and Arsenal might have to sell him, and that's going to enrage fans because they'll surely want a return for him. And if they don't sell him and he goes on a free, that might cause riots in North London. If Sanchez doesn't sign a new deal with Arsenal, it's very clear the only losers there will probably be Arsenal. Hey guys, thank you for watching this video on why I believe Arsenal should pay Alexis Sanchez how much money he is asking for. If you did enjoy this video, please do not hesitate to give us a like, share the video, or subscribe to the channel. It will be massively appreciated. If you enjoy this content and want some more content, please visit the website thebignothingpodcast.com, and please follow us on Twitter at thebignothingpod. Thank you very much.